Okay, 6.1b, I'm on page 498, the example 17. And remember when I said earlier we were going to have fractions that looked like that. So this is the index, this is the exponent. So this can actually be written as the cubed root of 8 squared. So the exponent and the index. So it looks like that. But in order to solve this, it's a lot easier, rather than writing this out, it's a lot easier for me anyway, to do it as 8 to the 1/3 squared. So change the fraction to 1/3 and then square it. So this is going to be 2. Cubed root of 8 is 2. And then we're going to square it. And that gives me 4. You could look at it and go, okay, 8 times 8 is 64. The cubed root of 64 is 4. But this seems to be dealing with smaller numbers. You don't have to remember the cubed root of 64 and that kind of stuff. So it does make it a little bit easier. At least I think it does. And I always go with simple minds because that's what I do, or that's what I have. So if I have 25 to the 3 halves, again, I'm going to put the square root inside the parenthesis, and then I'm going to cube it. So the square root of 25 is 5, and 5 cubed is 125. Okay, so again, I could have written this as 25 to the 3rd power, and then take the square root. But see how hard that is? I have to multiply 25 times 25 times 25, and then take the square root. Whereas this way, even though, 3 times 1/2 is 3/2, even though that's the same as this, by doing it, it makes it a lot harder. This way, I just take the square root of 25 and then cube it. So I'm always dealing with a smaller number here. Okay, so 19. Got 9 to the negative 3 halves. Okay, that can be written as 9 to the 1/2 to the negative 3. So what is 9 to the 1/2? What is the square root of 9? 3. And this negative, remember, it just means that this number and this number are in the wrong place. And that's a lot easier to write that as 1/27. So just works best if you can keep that fraction in the parenthesis. So then they get progressively more challenging looking. Okay, so that negative 4/3 is on everything. So let's just go with 27 over 8. And again, we're going to make it 1/3 power. And then we're going to put the negative 4 outside. So there's our negative 4 there. All right, so what we have then is 27 to the 1/3 over 8 to the 1/3. Because remember, we split these two up because they both have a 1/3 on it. And then that is with a negative 4 still there. So the cubed root of 27 is 3. Cubed root of 8 is 2. And that has the minus 4 on it still. And then that minus 4, well, let's just put an extra step in here. That is also going to be that over 2 to the minus 4. So what that means is that the 2 and the 3 are in the wrong place with that minus sign. So we're going to put them in the right place. So the 2 goes on top and the 3 goes on the bottom. So now I can take 2 to the 4th power and 3 to the 4th power, and that means I'm done. All right, a few more examples. 21, x to the 1/3 times x to the 5/6. Now, when they're on the same level like that, we're adding them, remember? So we have 1/3 plus 5, 6, which means we have to find common denominators. X to the 2, 6. And we're done with that one. Okay, so 22. Just going over some things that you already know. And with this being a 3/4, remember these are not on the same level and a parenthesis is between them. So it's 2/3 times 3/4. So that gives me y to the 6 over 12, which is, what is 6 over 12? 1/2. You just treat them as fractions up there, even though they're exponents. Okay, so x to the 1/3 over x to the 1/4. Remember, in division, that's x to the 1/3 minus 1/4. And again, common denominators here, x to the 4/12 minus 3/12 gives me x to the 1/12, which actually is 12 square root of x, the 12th root of x. But usually when they give it to us as a fractional exponent, we leave the answer as a fractional exponent. Okay, so real quickly, 2 more and we'll be done. A to the negative 1/3 over b. Put those in parentheses, to the 6th power. Okay. Nothing real scary there yet. This means a to the negative 1/3 to the 6th power over to the 6th power. And then we can just go ahead and multiply and get a to the negative 6 over 3 over b to the 6 over 2, which equals a to the negative 2 over b cubed. And if you want to get rid of that negative sign, this would be 1 over a squared b cubed, because remember, this just means that the a and the squared are in the wrong place, so we move it down. That's the only thing kind of goofy there to remember. Okay, last one. X to the minus 3, y to the 1/2 to the 4th power. And then we're going to put that over x to the 10th, y to the 3/2. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this then as x to the minus 12, y to the 4 over 2. Because this 4 is on this and this. So we multiply the 4 times this and the 4 times this. In fact, let's change that 4 over 2 to 2. And then the bottom, we're just going to leave alone for right now. Okay, so from one of the properties back a few pages, when you're dividing, when you have common exponents, remember, you subtract, where you have common variables, you subtract the exponents. Okay, so this is going to be, and this is got 2 minus 1/2 is going to be 1/2. Okay, and this negative sign means it's in the wrong place. So I'm going to take that x to the 22 and move it down here, and then it goes away there. And that ends up being my answer. Okay, so there we go. That is 6.1.